Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How you doing tonight? Welcome to my channel. I just wanted to share this project I'm working on right now with you in case someone out there wants to make an altered book and you maybe don't know where to start, and maybe you've watched videos and you're confused. So yeah, I kind of wanted to make one. I always join Dear Julie's challenges. I haven't done the last few, but I'm still joined and kind of, see what's going on and just get ideas and things like that. So, and I think August was the altered journal, which I did not do. And after that, I kind of got enthusiastic about it and wanted to do one. And so I told Maria about it, my friend Maria from Maria's Miscellany. That's her YouTube channel, in case you don't know Maria. But yeah, so Maria is working on one for someone, kind of like a custom order, and she has done one before. And so I thought this, she and I both thought this would be a great opportunity for me to do my first one. So I had already found this book when I was looking for a book for something in my little book stash here. I found this one and I had bought it for this cover, and I'm probably going to do something else with this cover, but for right now I'm concentrating on the inside. So I like this plaid cover. I kind of have a thing for plaid. And so, but when I was looking for that other book, I came across this one. I was like, oh yeah, this one would be perfect for an altered book because the size was nice. And it was just text in here. There was like no pictures I wanted to save or anything like that. So when I realized and found it again in my stash, I tried to remember where it was. So then when Maria had asked me, I was like, yes, I had the perfect book. I went and grabbed it and just dove right in. So what I thought I'd do was show you my progress tonight, because I'm pretty far along with it at this point. But I've been working on it on Maria and I's live. And so I'm going to link the two videos where she's working on her altered book, and then she gets me started and tells me how to do it. So I took this out, and she said, first of all, you want to take out the pages. And so I went through right on our live that we do every Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m., 7:30 to 8:30 usually. And she said, and it was really neat because she had done it before and she could tell me exactly what to do. So she said, like, tear out the pages in this way, and, every other one, or, save two and tear out one, or whatever. You'll see it in that video. I'll link it under this video. But, so I did that. I said, let me try to catch up with you. That's going to be my goal on the first one. We've done two mornings. I worked on the last two Saturday mornings. So, I said, I'm going to catch up with you. And she was working on hers. And so I immediately just went to town tearing out pages. And so I got all the pages torn out on that first one. And I believe I glued the pages together because she's like, tear out the pages like this. And I did that. And then she said, now you got to glue, go through and glue, like every other page together, or whatever, whatever you want to glue together. So I did that. And then she said, now you got all your pages glued together, whatever you want to glue together. Now you're going to go through and decorate your pages. So then I started doing that. So this is where I'm at. I've got all my pages covered with something. And then now I'm going to decorate, maybe put in some flip ups and, just see what I want to do to decorate. But I thought I'd show you where I'm at. So like I put in here, this is a little business card plastic pocket that you can put a little something in here. And I like this yellow page, even though it's like kind of like you don't expect, it's kind of unexpected. You open the book, this plaid purple and pink cover, and you open up and it's a bright yellow page. But I like that a lot. And so like when I was getting ready to put paper on the pages, I just pulled out a bunch of papers, and I thought this is a really kind of good stash buster little thing to do. So this is one of the papers just by coincidence I pulled out, and it had this pretty yellow flower on it, and it matched this yellow page that was already in the book. So I put it right here, and I thought that came out really pretty. And then this is let's see, like here's a pocket, so something's going to go in all the pockets, and there's a lot of pockets in these journals. If you want if you want there can be a lot of pockets. So, and then here's just craft color like cardstock. And then there's another pocket here. I won't show you all the pockets, but just you can get an idea. And it's really neat. Like I said, this is my first one. And so I'm kind of just getting a whole feel for it here. And so like this pocket, when you, if you realize that it's 2 layers on either side, it's the book page and you put the craft cardstock on top here. I put a pretty piece of paper on top here. So by the time you do all that, your book just feels amazing. Amazingly strong. These pockets feel amazingly strong. And, you know, just you tear out the pages because when you put all of this paper back in here, you're filling it back up. So you can see, basically, it started out like this. I tore out pages and now it's back to the size it was before I started tearing out pages. In fact, it's probably a little fluffier, a little fluffier than it was. So I just want to go through. I kind of want to check to make sure everything's glued down good and go through here and kind of, if something needs to be reinforced at this point, go ahead and do that and just kind of show you where I'm at. So this morning on our live, this is the 3rd day I worked on it with Maria. And so this morning I went through and finished putting papers on all the pages all the way to the end. So at this point, before I add flip-ups and things in the pockets, I wanted to go through and just make sure everything is glued down. So like I'm putting some glitter glue, or trying to put some glitter glue under here. It's not really coming up, but I'd like it to be a little bit flatter there if possible. It's kind of trying to go around a curve here, so that's why it looks like it's popping up, even though it's not gonna, I don't believe it would come off or anything. I just would like it to be a little bit flatter, and I guess I could put washi tape there if I want to. It would have to be, to go over this layer, I mean, I would just use my strongest washi tape, you know what I mean? But this glitter glue, I think, would hold it too if I can get it in under here. So I'm going to see if I can do a little bit of that as we look through here, as we look through the journal. So it's kind of a progress video plus kind of a little craft with me. But so let's look. I think that's good now. It looks like it's down better than it was when I first got here to this page just now. Okay, so next page. This is some note paper or stationery. And then here is a flip out of stationery that let's see, how did I attach this? I attached it with a little paper hinge, and I also put lined paper under here. I mean, there's so much writing room in here, it's crazy. It's just amazingly amount of, you know, I've never done one of these before, and it's just, you can draw, you can write, just whatever you want to do. So that's a pretty flip out. It's got the plain paper under, but this is vintage, and then some pretty note paper over top, and that looks good. Here I just thought, why not put a pretty doily over this text, and I thought that was pretty. And then here's some more of that pretty yellow. I tried not to repeat too much, but I might have a little bit, like, just, I mean, it's just plain pretty paper, so put another piece there. This is some more of the cardstock, and that looks like it's just down just fine. You know, still lots of pockets going on here all the way throughout. So I won't show you everyone. And I'm going to figure out whether I want to put any like finger notches in here and things to help get what's in the pockets out easier. So more note papers here. This one has lines, this one doesn't. So I thought that would be like, but without the lines, that would be a perfect little drawing opportunity there. Or you can always put pictures. I mean, you can treat this just like a junk journal if you want, you know what I mean? So this is a pretty napkin I put here, strawberry napkin. Wanted to try something different. So, and you can see the text through, which I think is really neat. Some more lined, and these both have lines, and this one's, you know, decorated. This is some tissue. This was the wrapper on a tissue paper. Like, I got a new package of tissue paper, took that outer layer off that you kind of throw away like the wrapper, And this was on the wrapper, this pretty part here. So I cut it out. And this was when I was on a live with Maria, and I accidentally wadded it up, like I was like dividing up the papers I was going to put down and the trash. And I wadded up the trash, and I accidentally wadded this up. And I was like, okay, didn't mean to do that. So I pulled it out and unfolded it, and I glued it down anyway, because it looked pretty, I thought it looked pretty cool. It's like distressed with the wrinkles, you know what I mean? So I like the wrinkles, and then I just took my distress ink and went over this, and it, you know, the wrinkles picked up the distress ink, and the wrinkles are darker, so I thought that looked pretty cool. So I did it on purpose on this page, and this page was wadded up, this tissue paper here was wadded up once, and I liked it so much that I did it over here, and I wadded it up twice to get more wrinkles. So just something a little different and fun, and it's all glued down good. It's just that, let's see, I need a little glue right here, I think. So let me put a little, yeah, it's just hard to get, I guess it was hard to get this edge down here. So a little glitter glue on there will take care of that. Get that all flattened out and on there good. And I was going pretty quick on the video because we were live, and I just I was trying to catch up with Maria on her, you know, and I wanted to see how much I could get done too, you know, kind of always just pushing myself, see how much I can get done in like an hour or whatever, give myself a time limit, and then see how much I can get done. Not that I'm rushing, I just kind of like to always challenge myself, you know, when whatever I'm doing. So, yeah, let me see if that's down good. See that? Yeah, that's much better. It kind of comes out over the edge, so I could cut that off or just leave it. I don't know. I don't want to mess up the page, so I might just leave it. Okay, so that page, it has the tissue, has a pocket, and then on this side it has an envelope. And I just was a pretty envelope. I thought, you know, another fun thing, just put a pretty envelope there. And then I've got a little puppy card. I was just pulling stuff out of my stash, putting it down on these pages. So a little puppy card here, and he's in a picnic basket, and it says, "Without you, nothing's fun." So I thought that was super cute. So that can be like a journaling spot there. Really neat. And so pocket again. Very strong with that card on this side, and then here's some pretty kind of stationery over here. And here's another flip up with the lined paper underneath. The other one flipped out this way. This one flips up, and I put another little paper hinge on here. Just a little scrap I used to glue that on. And then here's some, this is like, it's like grid paper. It's like graph paper. It's just kind of different because it has like dotted lines, and they're kind of like bigger squares than the smaller ones. So anyway, something a little different. More stationery here. Pocket, line paper, note paper. This has little ballerina shoes up there in the corner. So that's neat. This is coffee dyed paper with a little flip out. And I kind of started, you know, as I went through and I got different ideas, I just kind of went with it and just, you know, kind of experimented it a little bit, since this was my first altered book. So like this is coffee dyed paper, and I put it on both pages. I kind of did that quite a bit throughout a lot of the rest of it. I wanted to kind of do a 2-page spread on some pages. So that's why these both have coffee dyed paper. You know, another pocket. This has music. That's music from my mom. This is a paper bag that I made sure I put it on there in a way where it could open up all the way. You know, instead of gluing the bottom down to the other side, I glued it in a way that the bottom was on this side. And then you can open this whole bag up. I'm not going to open it up right now, but you could open that whole bag up and just put all kinds of stuff in there probably. So this is one of the 2-page spreads with my painty papers. And I want to make sure that's all down. Yeah, looks like it is. I don't think I can get my fingers under there. Nope. So that turned out pretty. Another pocket here. And everything looks like it's glued down here. This was a collage that I made, and I copied it and just I have some copies of my collage for me to use in my junk journal. So cut out a piece and put it right here. This is, I believe I got this, it's like a vintage receipt. And I got this from, I believe I got that from Aaliyah. And so I liked it so much, and I copied, it was this color and everything, you know, it was just an old, really brown, nicely browned receipt. So I copied it, made quite a few copies, and I have them in a folder so I can grab one when I want, cut it out and use it. So I did use one right here. So I thought that was really cool, and the colors go together there. And the next page is something else I copied. This is a piece of embroidery or crewel type stitchery that I have, and I copied it also, and I have a bunch of copies in a folder. And so I pulled one out and put it right here. Thought that was really pretty. And then the next couple of pages here, they match with the colors a little bit. Just kind of saw this red, and you know, this has red and black, and so these kind of went together. But this is a bridge score pad page, and this is just a pretty note paper. And then as we turn our page, let's see, this needs some glue, but these are two. I wanted to make a two-page spread here, so I put two of the same stationaries right here. So let me see how these are holding up. These I just did this morning, and I see we need a bunch of glue right here. I don't know if I just missed this or what, but we will reinforce it right now. So that's why I wanted to go through here. I figured since I was going through, why not just let you see the progress on this and share it in case someone else wants to make it. Like I've watched Crafty Irina at least twice on her altered book series, and I watched Dawn H. So I kind of knew how to do it. It was really neat to have Maria on the live and her telling me exactly what to do, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm going to link that video, because you can watch that, and then, you know, it'll be like she's telling you what to do. Because I ask her, okay, Maria, what do I do next? You know, how do I do this? Can I do this? You know, when I get an idea, like, can I do this? Can I do that? And she, you know, so it's really neat to have like those step-by-step instructions as you're working. It was really cool. So right here, this was some scrapbook paper with butterflies, and so I put two pieces down here. So this is like a separate piece, and this was some planner paper that I just cut out, this little piece from the planner paper. Also, this is cut out from the planner paper. It says weekly menu, and so like I glued the whole piece of scrapbook over the whole page, and then this is on top. Now, if you can see, I haven't had any wrinkles in here except for right here is a wrinkle. So if you get a wrinkle, like, I don't even know, it's almost like it's not really a wrinkle. I think there's an extra piece of, almost like I caught an extra piece of paper under there from something like the page. So it's not like a real wrinkle. It just looks kind of like a wrinkle. So when I decorate the pages, I'm going to put something there. If you ever get a wrinkle, don't, you know, panic. You can cover up a wrinkle with something like, say you have a tag or a banner, you know, just put a little decoration over it. There you go, your wrinkle's gone. So don't panic if you get a wrinkle, but that was my first wrinkle in here I noticed this morning, and I couldn't make it go away, so I figured, you know, that page is going to definitely be decorated. So here was another piece of scrapbook paper, and some more of those planner pieces I cut out. This says list to do, like a to-do list. This says to do, and this says goals. And I thought that was really pretty, and the colors and everything on this bright pink paper looked pretty. And then here's some more of the pretty scrapbook paper with another piece from the planner. And so, yeah, I just left this one because it had all these pretty butterflies and flowers. And this had the butterflies down here, flowers, so I put this on top. It says priority and notes there. And the different colors on the planner paper was really pretty, so it just all came out really nice. And then here, these two pages are covered with this paper that I got at a thrift store. And it's like, excuse me, I need a drink. It's like handmade paper, and it has little fibers in it and stuff. So that looked really pretty there on that paper, on those 2 pages. Here I pulled out 2. This is from a vintage ledger. Pulled out 2 pages. The back side of this one didn't have writing on it, but the back side of this one did. And it's not that I wanted to cover up the writing, but if you did want to cover up the writing in an old ledger you have, it's the perfect way to do it, is just glue that back side down if the other side is not written on, like this one. There you have your clean side, and your written side is you know, on the back side here, so you don't really see it anymore. I mean, I can kind of see it through, but like I said, I really didn't even care about it. I just wanted to use some ledger paper here, and this was really pretty. This is the pretty pink and blue type, like this is all pink here with a blue line, and it has the little numbers up here, so really neat. Some more pretty note paper that just happened to fit right over the words that were on these pages. So, and that says notes. It just looks really nice. Some more vintage kind of, I think this was also from a ledger. You can almost see a little tab right here. But this was from the same like ledger type book. So I pulled 2 of those pages out. Do we need some? I think we need a little glue up here. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's not really much, but maybe just a little dab right here in the corner. Like I said, I just finished this morning. So I was kind of letting it dry and and figured I would come back and see how it did after I let everything dry. But yeah, it looks good. Let me see this right here. Just barely a little corner right here. It doesn't, it's like you don't have to put anything down there, but you know, I might put this in my shop, so I want everything to be as perfect as I can get it. Maybe a little bit more under here. Let's see. This is where the glitter glue comes in handy with this thin nozzle. You can get right under there and just glue all the way down. So yes, I'm glad I have that, because I don't know what I would do if I didn't have that little nozzle to get under there. But because this is my first bottle, so I guess I'd be trying to get Fabri-Tac under there, but the glitter glue is perfect for that. So yeah, and it was I just ordered a new one. If maybe I should put a link under here. It's not the one with the little metal nozzle. Since I already have the metal nozzle, I figure I'd take it off this one when it's empty, and of course put it on the new one. But the one I ordered, I'll have to link it, and I'm not sure. I think it's the same size, but it was marked down a little bit on Amazon. So I ordered, because this one's getting down to be like almost 1/4 left, only 1/4 left in there. So I figured I better, with all the gluing I'm doing, I better get it back up, you know. But anyway, these 2 pages are from a coloring book, and this coloring book's really neat. It was a small one. This was the size of the pages, and it was like this with this color on it. So I guess you're supposed to just add your colors to this, you know, and finish coloring it in. But these 2 I thought went well together. There's some turquoise like on this one, and then there's turquoise on this one. So I tried to get 2 pages that looked like they went together and glue them down here, and they were the perfect size to, again, cover up the text here. And then find something fun for whoever may end up with this to color these pages or whatever. You can leave them like this and they look beautiful, right? So a couple more. I had this notepad in my stash and hadn't used any of it. I just thought it was cute. It says corny ideas, and there's a container of popcorn here, and I got it out and opened it up this morning for the first time. It was still wrapped in plastic. I've had it for a while, and so finally got to use it here. And these do say 1980 on there, so I thought that was pretty neat too. Like, you know, they're vintage. This was from an old little address book I had. I had it for quite a while, and I had my addresses. It was actually my address book that I carried around with me, but I had quite a few pages in there that I never wrote anything on, you know what I mean? So they're pretty kind of how would I describe that? Shabby chic looking, pink and brown. You can see here, kind of a shabby chic looking little address book. So it was kind of getting worn on the cover quite a bit. And I came across a smaller one that I transferred and I don't really need it anymore. I have my contacts in my phone, but I still like to have some of my most important, you know, family phone numbers and information in that little book. So, and it was smaller, so I just transferred everything over and took out the pages in that old address book that I could use. So this is, to make a very long story longer, to let you know that this is from that address book. And so I thought that came out really pretty. These two were from a little score pad from a game that I had bought at Goodwill to use the pieces from, and I just like this score pad, one of the things I took from the game. And just a little score pad. This was the size here. Glued 2 pieces, covered up most of the words. I don't even care that a couple words are showing, doesn't matter to me. And I might put something down here when I'm decorating to cover up those words. We'll see what I end up doing. I really don't know. Maybe some washi or, you know, a little flip up or something. We'll see what I come up with. This is some other paper I had in my stash. Let's see, how did this do? It's all, this one's really flat. This one has, it's not coming up like, you know, like I'm saying, it's not coming up, but kind of a little bit reinforcement here maybe. Because I can fit my nozzle under there a little bit, so I guess that means I need to put a little bit more glue under there. So, yeah. So I'll finish these pages out tonight and let these dry. And actually I'm going to put this project over to the side so that I can work on it on my live next Saturday morning. Hopefully me and Maria will be able to get together again. We usually try to get together unless one of us is out of town or has some kind of a commitment where we absolutely can't do it. But if we're both at home, we, you know, Saturday morning at 7:30, usually we're both home for at least an hour at that time before we have to get into our day. So that's where I'm at. I did the last page again. I put something yellow like I did on the first one with the flowers here. This one has a sun on this note paper here. Or is that a flower? That's actually a sunflower, and it's got a yellow haze on it, so it matches this yellow again. And I love the yellow, bright yellow pages here. So that's where I'm at. I think it's pretty cool. I need to come up with something for the cover, but I will probably just think about that while I'm working on the inside and then tackle that at the end. But I think it's really coming out neat. And so if you want to do one, just go back and look at those other two and you can catch up with us or with me. She's working on one too. So yeah, you can catch up with us and you can see how neat it looks. It feels good too in your hand. Like I said, I've never done one before, so I was kind of like amazed at how it looks. If you can see how pretty it looks like this when you see the pages all kind of covered from this side, and then from the top, you see how much it's there. You know, it doesn't look like it's missing anything, even though I tore out. I think when I was done, I had, Maria had me count the pages, and that's in the video. But I think there was something like 36 pages after I pulled out, you know, probably half of the pages. So, pretty cool. So, that's it for today. And I will talk to you all later. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting!